Good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure to have you all here. As we navigate the complexities of how disease spread, it's essential to not only understand the numbers, but also the deeper ideas behind them. That's where our focus on the SIR model comes in. This model isn't just about math. It's about understanding the patterns and behavior of diseases in our communities. Now, you might wonder why the emphasis on metamathematics. Well, it's about looking beyond the equations and understanding the reasoning and the assumptions that shape them. It's like peeling back the layers of an onion to see what is at the core. As we move forward today, we will uncover the secrets of the SIR model, challenge its assumptions, see its real world applications. We also discuss its strengths and limitations, ensuring we have a well-rounded understanding. This study employs a mathematical approach to analyze the SIR model through the lens of 1968 Hong Kong flu in New York, examining assumptions and parameter interactions. It provides insights into disease spread, peak infection rates, and model limitations using historical data. The study's implications span ethics, practicality, and public health crisis management, contributed to discussions on epidemiological governmental model and their real-world applicability. Balancing mathematical rigor and real-world complexity, it underscores the role of such models in understanding and addressing infectious diseases. Before we dive deep into the SIR model and the big ideas behind it, here is a quick overview of what we will cover today. We will start with a mathematical exploration of the SIR model, dissecting its logical structure and key assumptions. We will then venture into the philosophical and ethical dimensions that arise from the deterministic nature of the model and its underlying assumptions. To ground these concepts, we will delve into a real-world case study examining the Hong Kong flu outbreak in New York City. Finally, we will talk about why these big ideas are important and how they can help us make better choices in public health. Ladies and gentlemen, math models help us understand and predict how diseases spread. One of the main models we use is the SIR model. It breaks down people into groups based on their health status regarding a disease. Today, we are not just looking at the math part of it. We are also thinking about the big ideas and assumptions behind this model. Our goal is simple. We want to use this deep thinking approach to better understand real-world disease outbreaks. This will help us make smarter decisions and interpretations. Let's start by understanding the main ideas behind the SIR model and what is based on. The model thinks that everyone is the same. The number of people doesn't change, and people get sick or get better at a steady rate. That's called recovery rate. Even though these ideas sound simple, they play a big role in what the model predicts. That's why it is important to think deeply about what these ideas really mean and how they affect our understanding. So, we talk about the SIR model. We are looking at three main groups of people: susceptible, those who haven't caught the disease but can; infected, those who currently have the disease; and covered, those who had the disease and can't touch it again. The model makes some basic guesses. It assumes everyone has the same chance of getting sick, and once they are sick, they have the same chance of getting better. It also thinks that the total number of people doesn't change, but in real life, things are always not that simple. People are different, and many factors can change how a disease spreads. For example, some people might be more careful and avoid getting sick, while others might live in crowded places where the disease spreads faster. That's why it's crucial to look beyond just the math and think about the bigger picture. By understanding the model limits and real world factors, it doesn't consider we can use it more wisely and make better predictions about diseases. An important part of this is something called R0, the reproductive number. You can think of it as a clue. If R0 is high, the disease might spread a lot. If it's low, the disease might not spread as much. It helps us guess if a disease will become a big problem or not. As we go deeper, we see how big ideas and maths come together. This special way of thinking makes us wonder about things like fate versus chance and how disease spreads. It's tough because real life outbreaks are unpredictable. It is fascinating how math can help us think about big questions like whether a disease spread is set in stone or just random. But as we know, real life isn't always straightforward. Diseases can surprise us, and that's what makes predicting these diseases tricky. And while math gives us a way to understand diseases, it's not perfect. Think of the SIR model as a basic sketch. It gives us an idea, but might miss out on the finer details. For instance, not everyone has the same access to healthcare. and some people might be more at risk than others. Plus, there are questions about how much control we should have over people's choices during an outbreak. So, as we use the SIR model, it's essential to remember its limits. It's a tool, but we need to use it wisely. We should always combine what the model tells us with real world knowledge. So we need to think about how to use the SIR model in a way that's fair and understands those challenges. Shifting our focus now to the real world, we put our mathematical insights to the test by analyzing the 1968 Hong Kong flu outbreak in New York City. This case study became our laboratory to extract insight into disease progression, peak infections, and intervention strategies. In this study, the math formulas are like our tools or guide. They help us break down the big problem of Hong Kong flu into smaller and more understandable parts. Here we can see the differential equations that describes our problem. And there we can see the initial conditions. Think of it like using a magnifying glass to look closely at something. These math methods or ways of solving problems let us see patterns. For example, we might notice that more people got sick during certain weeks or in specific areas. This can give us clues about how and where the flu was spreading the fastest. As we can see here, we have defined our historical data for the initial susceptible and the initial infected persons, and we have also defined our beta and gamma. Beta is the infection rate, and gamma is the recovery rate. That is all that are also given from our historical data. Then we have to this information and we use the endsolve command to find our solutions. As we can see here, the graphs are like our storybook. They visually show the journey of the disease. By looking at them, we can see when the disease started to spread, when it was at its worst, and when it becomes to slow down, as we can see here. It's like watching a movie of the disease's journey. By studying all of this, we can learn lessons for the future. If a similar disease starts to spread, we can use what we have learned from Hong Kong flu to make better decisions and keep more people safe. It's all about learning from the past to be better prepared for the future. Also, we can use the manipulate code and change also the parameters. The only parameter that we can change through our test is beat the recovery rate. For the whole test, we keep gamma the same. Ladies and gentlemen, we have taken a deep dive into the SIR model using a special way of thinking called metamathematics. With this knowledge, we can better understand what the model tells us, while also being aware of its limits. It's like finding a balance between big ideas and real world use, helping us make smarter choices about public health. To finish, I want to say let's keep using this way of thinking. Math is more than just numbers and formulas. It helps us find better ways to keep our community safe and everyone healthy. Thank you.